Once again, good morning and welcome to our Stat and Prob class. Today we'll have the last lesson for chapter 2, and it's about probabilities and percentiles of the normal curve. Our memory verse is found in Psalm 55, verse 23, and our keyword is normal. It says, "But you, O God, will bring them down to the deep pits. Violent and deceitful people will not live even half a normal lifespan. But as for me, I trust in you." At the end of today's class, we'll be able to compute percentiles and probabilities using the standard normal table. Let's first have the entry card. And I want you to participate by sharing your answers in the chat box. Just say whether it's true or false. And if it's false, let me ask you a further question on what word should be replaced and what should be replaced to that. Let's have the first one. Probability value is a number from 0 to 1. The probability value is a number from 0 to 1. True or false? Share your answers with me in the chat box. P-value is a number from 0 to 1. Any answers? I've seen one answer. Yes, the answer is true. Very good. Next, let's go to number 2. Probability value is a number from -1 to 1. Probability value is a number from -1 to 1. Is it true or false? Very good. It should be false. What must be the correct answer? What must be the correct statement? It's from 0 to 1. Very good. Number 3, the normal curve is a probability distribution. The normal curve is a probability distribution. True or false? Very good. It's true. That's why we have the normal distribution. Next, number 4. Finding the area of a region under the normal curve is the same as finding the probability associated with that region. Again, finding the area of a region under the normal curve is the same as finding the probability associated with that region. True or false? Very good. It is true. Remember, once we say area, it also means probability, percentile, percentage, proportion. Next, number 5. It is possible to obtain a probability of 0.000001 under the normal curve. Again, it is possible to obtain a probability of 0.000001 under the normal curve. True or false? Check your z-table first. What is the highest value that you can see in your z-table? Check your z-table. What's the highest value that you can see in your z-table? It is 0.4999. And remember, that is half, right? So if you subtract that from 0.5, the lowest number that you can only have is only 0.0001. 1. Therefore, this is a false. Number 6, the z-table refers to the table of areas under the normal curve. The z-table refers to a table of areas in under the normal curve. True or false? It is a true. Very good. Now, let's go to the next page. Here. The area under the normal curve, remember, once we say area, we also mean probability, proportion, or percentage. And the table of areas under the normal curve is also known as the z-table. So we say that our z-table is talking about areas under the normal curve. And it is needed to find the probability of one's distribution. Now, how do we write the notations under the normal curve? Let's first start. If the notation is a between, you start with the smaller, the lesser value, then less than, z, less than the bigger value. If we say that the probability of the z-score is greater than a, then we use the greater than sign. So we say P of z greater than a. Next, if we have the less than a, we also use the less than sign, z less than a. Remember, what if I'll place here an equal to, like less than or equal to? They are just the same. They are just treated the same under the normal curve. And if we say P of z is equal to a, remember that line alone? The answer is 0 because the line has no area. Here are some terms that you can associate with a greater than or with a less than. Case number 1 is for the greater than. When will you write it this way? If it says greater than z, at least z, more than z, to the right of z, or above z. In case number 2, we use the less than sign. When do we use that? Once we'll have less than z, at most z, no more than z, to the left of z, and below z. And this interval notation is used if we have between or like from 0 to 1. Again, A is the lesser value, while B is the one with a greater value. And we'll have all the less than signs. Let's start with the first one. What is the probability between negative 2.34 and 0? Now, in the chat box, can you share with me what should be the probability notation? How do we write the probability notation? Ready? In the chat box, share your answers. It's a between, right? Oh, let's solve it yet. We need to write the probability distribution, okay? We'll write the probability notation. That will be P of, it's a between, right? So P of negative 2.34 less than Z less than 0. Okay, very good. And you see our reference is from 0 to negative 2.34. This is what we call the probability notation. And if you're asking for the probability, then we need to use our z-table. So from 0 to negative 2.34, the answer is 0.4904. Or, because we can write it in percentage, that's 2 decimal places, we have 49.04%. Any questions? No questions? Let's go to the next page. Okay. Now, in the next page, we have this one. What is the probability between z equals 1 and z equals 2.70? Now, in the chat box, can you share with me how do we write the probability notation? Ready? Okay, very good. That's a between again. So we have P of 1 less than Z less than 2.70. This is from positive to positive. Remember in our rule last time, positive to positive, we subtract the areas. The area from 0 to 2.70 minus the area from 0 to 1. So from 0 to 2.70, we have, let me check my Z table, 0.4965. The area from 0 to 1, that's 0.3413. Subtract them. What's the answer? That will be 0.1552. Or in percentage, that is 15.52%. Any questions? No questions? Let's go to the next example. Here. What is the probability from z equals -1 to z equals 1? In the chat box, share with me, how will you write its probability notation? How will you write its probability notation? Very good. I have an answer there. Thank you, Noelyn. That's from P, that's -1 less than Z less than 1. Now, what is its probability? What is its probability? From 0 to 1, that is 0.3413. From 0 to -1, that's 0.3413. Negative to positive, you need to add the areas. So the answer is 0.6826. Or in percentage, that is 68.26%. Any questions? No questions? I assume you've understood, okay? Let's go to example number 4. Wait first. Okay, let's go to example number 4. Find the probability to the left of -1. In the chat box, share with me, how will you write its probability notation to the left of -1? How will you write its probability notation? That's P of any answers? Probability to the left of -1. How will you write its probability notation? To the left. So we say if it's to the left, it should be less than. So P of Z less than -1. Remember that from 0 to negative infinity, that is 0.5. From 0 to 1, that is 0.3413. And we're just asking for the leftover, right? So we will subtract them. 0.5 minus 0.3413. The answer is 0.1587. Or that will be 15.87%. Any questions? If there's none, let me proceed to the next problem. Okay. Next, find the probability of z greater than 0.94. In the chat box, share with me, how will you write its probability notation? I have an answer here. We have P of z greater than 0.94. Very good. Now, how about its probability? What is the answer? What is the probability to the right or greater than 0.94? From 0 to 0.94, the area is 0.3264. We need to get the leftover from 0.5. Subtract them. The answer will be 0.1736, or that is 17.36%. Very good. That will be the first part of your quiz this morning. Now let's go to the next part. It will be about percentile. Now, what is a percentile? If we say percentile, it is the measure of probability. Or basically in your grade 10 class, if we say percentile, we're asking, what is your position? For example, I don't know if your batch have taken the NCAE test. That's the National Career Assessment Examination. The results will be in percentile, not in percentage. So for example, if we say that you are in percentile 80, it means that you scored better than 80% of those who took the test. Again, it's not saying that you answered 80% of the items correctly. No, that is percentage. But in percentile, we are talking of your standing. We were back in high school, our batch was the first one to take the NCAE. And there were only 4 that they called the Club 99 Plus. These were the people who scored better than 99% of those who took the exam. So again, if you say percentile, it's the measure of relative standing given a set of data, and it can be measured ascending or descending order. But in this class, we'll measure it in ascending order. So if you say you are in percentile 90, it means that you scored better than 90% of those who took the test. Now, how do we solve for the percentile? In solving for the percentile, we still need your z-table. The first is you sketch the curve, or you can skip that. Second, we express the percentage as a probability. It means that you write the percentage into 4 decimal places. Then split it with 0.5. Why with 0.5? Because 0.5 is the half, right? The 0 mark. So we'll know whether your answer will be negative or a positive. Then refer to the z-table and find the z-score. Let's start with example number 6. Find the 90th percentile of the normal curve. Let me draw it because I can visualize it more when I'll draw it. Wait, oops, not this one. Give me a moment first. Okay. The first one is we write the given is the 90th percentile, or we say P90. It means percentile 90. We write 90 into 4 decimal places. So we can write it as 0.9000. Now, here's the concept, or here's the technique. If it's more than half, 0.5000, it means that your z-score is positive. But if it's below 5,000, it means that your z-score is negative. Now, how can we split 9,000? The other one should be 0.5000. Then we add. What should be added to 5,000 to get 0.9000? That will be 0.4000. This one, the one that goes with the 0.5, the other that is not 0.5, you need to find its value in the z table. What if we don't have the exact value in the z table? Then you find the two nearest answers. So you go to your z table and you find for the nearest one to 0.4000. We have 0.4000. We have 0.3997, right? The other is also 0.4105. These are the two values nearest to 0.4000. You choose the one which is nearer, and this is the one that is nearer. Then find the z-score. What's the z-score of 0.3997? The z-score is 1. Where is that one? 28. So this one. Therefore, the z-score of percentile 90 is 1.28. Any questions? Let me first check the z table so you can see it. You can really see it. Okay, here's my z table. And we're looking for the one nearest to 0.4000, right? So based on that, you check. These are the two nearest to 0.4000. Which is nearer? This one. What is the z-score of this? That's 1.2 and 0.08. So the z-score is 1.28. Any questions? No questions? We'll go to the next example.
Pwede ba matara, ma'am?
Sure.
Ngano 4,000 ganito, ma'am?
Why is it in 4,000? Because remember, we split percentile 90, right? Wait first. I'll just have my desktop. Okay. Remember that our given is percentile 90. So from percentile 90, you write it as 0.9000 in two decimal places. We split it in 0.5. That's 0.5000 plus 0.4000. Why 0.4000? Because if we add it to 0.5000, the other will be 0.9,000. That's why this was the value that we are looking. They answer it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, you're welcome. Now, let's go to the next example. The next example is the 85th percentile. So it's more, wait first. We're looking for the 85th percentile of the normal curve. So first step, we write it in 4 decimal places. So 0.85,000. Then we split it in terms of 0.5. So how do we write 0.8500? That will be 0.5,000 plus 0.3500. Now, we need to look for the nearest value of 0.3500 in the normal, in our Z table. So let me have a new share. We are looking for 0.3500. Let's wait first. Why is it not sharing? Here. So we're looking for 0.3500. The nearest. Oops, wait first. This one and this one. Remember, we're looking for 0.3500. There are two nearest values, and we'd like to check which is nearer, 0.3485 or 0.3508. This one is nearer, right, to 0.3500. So what is its z-score? That's 1.04. So the z-score of that is 1.04. If we go back to wait first. If we go back to this one, then we check the z-score of 85th percentile is 1.04. Any questions? No questions? Ma'am, what if it's below 5,000? Let's have the next example. The next example is if you see 37th percentile is below 0.5,000. So let's start again. What's the first step? Write it in 4 decimal places, 0.3700. Then you split it in 0.5,000, 0.5,000. However, it's below 0.5,000. So we need to subtract a number to get it to 0.3700. So how will you do it? That's 0.5,000 minus 0.3700. The answer will be 0.1300. How will you know if your answer is correct? Here, you need to subtract these two. 0.5,000 minus 0.1300. Will it result to 0.3700? If yes, then you're splitting it well. Then we need to find the z-score of the one that goes with 0.5,000. If you check with your z table, that's 0.1300. The nearest is 0.1293 and the other is 0.1331. Which is nearer? This one, 0.1293. 93. Find the z-score of 0.1293. The z-score will be 0.33. Remember, our percentile is below the 50th percentile, below the mean. So our z-score will be negative. Negative 0.33. That is the z-score for percentile 37. Any questions? No questions? Let me go to the last problem. Here. Find the upper fifth of the normal curve. If you say upper fifth, we are talking about P95, percentile 95. That's the upper fifth. If we say upper 10th, that's the P90. So let's have P95. That's 0.95,100. Split it to 0.5. 0.5,000. Sorry. Plus 0.4500. Find this in your Z table. The nearest, it's between actually. One is 0.4495. Sorry. The other is 0.4505. And both have the same distance. Therefore, you need to average the two. What's between 1.64 and 1.65? The answer is 1.645. So our 95th percentile is at z-score 1.645. But it's very rare to happen. The last problem. The results of a nationwide aptitude test in math are normally distributed with a mean of 80 and a standard deviation of 15. What is the percentile rank of a score of 84? So what you need to do, you need to find first the z-score. That's 84 minus 80 over 15. The z-score is 0.27. So if you imagine this one, 0.27. And in percentile, it is to the left. So this will be 0.5. And from 0 to 0.27, that is 0.1064. You add their areas, it will be 0.6064. So we say that our percentile is at 60. Ma'am, it's 60.64. Do I need to round it off? No. Drop the decimal part and just have the whole part. So the answer is P60. Any questions before we end